keeping that in. That's funny as hell. How's it going, everyone? It's That Nerd Ryan here, and today we're reviewing the movie The Cable Guy. So this is a movie from the 90s, starring Jim Carrey, Matthew Broderick, and we also have Jack Black in it, as well as a side plot with Ben Stiller, which we'll talk about. Just wanted to mention that here now because that's a gripe that I have with the movie. But this is a dark Judd Apatow comedy. Why I mention Judd Apatow is because he did the Anchorman movies as well, and those are some of my favorite comedies. So I did want to bring that up. So I chose this movie. I've seen it before, but not in a long time. I chose this movie because I remember I did like it a lot for Jim Carrey's humor in this. This was kind of his first darker humor movies, and I do remember watching a biography for Jim Carrey and them mentioning that a lot of people didn't know how to feel about this movie. So let's talk about the premise. So basically, Matthew Broderick just got out of a relationship with his girlfriend and got his own apartment, trying to set up the cable. It wasn't working, so he called in the cable guy, played by Jim Carrey, who came in, fixed everything, and then when Matthew Broderick was trying to bribe him to get him more channels, Jim Carrey took that as him trying to be friendly, thus latching on and creating a insane relationship with Matthew Broderick. So basically, he ends up stalking him, forcing friendship on him, kind of stalking his friends and family, helps him get back together with his girlfriend by basically, sabotaging her date and stuff like that. So, they go on, two friend dates, one of them being going to a satellite dish, and then the other one being going to medieval times. The medieval times one, they actually fight in medieval times, and then they do a friend hangout after that, or a hangout after that to cheer him up about Robin dating somebody else. Robin's the name of the girlfriend, and he actually buys Matthew Broderick a prostitute, doesn't tell him. They hook up as Jim Carrey takes a picture for blackmail, and then confesses that was a prostitute. Through the whole thing, too, Jim Carrey does not reveal his real name. He uses characters from classic TV shows, which are the two of the kids from My Three Sons, or Father Knows Best, or something like that. And then at the end, he uses Ricky Ricardo's name from I Love Lucy. So after that, Matthew Broderick and him have a falling out where Jim Carrey does everything he can to sabotage Matthew Broderick's life. In this, he kind of forces himself into Matthew Broderick's family, then makes him look like an asshole by making him punch him by saying something under his breath. I forgot what it was exactly. And then basically sabotaging his job to where he loses his job, and then trying to find a way to sabotage Robin, and then ends up kidnapping her and taking her to where him and Matthew Broderick first hung out. So they actually get into a fight, a physical fight, like it's a superhero movie, in the end on the satellite as the cops show up and everything. One of the funniest parts in this was the two of them fighting, and Matthew Broderick punches him, and through the whole thing, Jim Carrey had a lisp, and then he says Matthew Broderick's character's name is Steven regularly, and he's like, wait, Steven. Oh my god, you fixed my... Oh, seriously? Which is really funny, and I think that's the funniest part in the whole movie, that and the medieval times part. But after that, they arrest him, take him medical, because he falls from the satellite and that, so they take him away. And then you could see the cycle's about to repeat with the paramedic, because he calls him buddy and friend. And that's how the movie ends. So the movie is very dark at times, especially Jim Carrey's character, where he's doing some messed up stuff. And you noticed I mentioned the Ben Stiller side story early on and then didn't mention it. That's because the movie honestly could have done without the whole thing. So this side story is that Ben Stiller is playing twins, where one twin murdered the other, and like it's going on with the trial, and it all builds up to everybody's watching TV. Then Jim Carrey falls onto the top of the satellite, thus ruining everybody finding out what the verdict was. You can see how that's unnecessary. I think if I were to rewrite this, it would have been that Ben Stiller's character was friends with Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey was the one that ended up murdering the brother. I don't know if that would be too dark, but like I feel that would have been a lot better than just have it in the story, because it does feel like as you're watching the movie that that's what's going to be revealed, but it never gets resolved. We don't even know what the trial is at the end, and honestly I don't care because it was kind of unnecessary. But Jim Carrey did a good job of playing a creepy yet goofy character. Matthew Broderick, anytime I see him in a movie, I think he does a great job. And Jack Black is also in this as Matthew Broderick's friend, who he starts kind of blowing off. Not on purpose, it's just Jim Carrey's taking up so much time. And then, yeah, he's like a news reporter, so it kind of helps out in ways about finding who Jim Carrey is and kind of saving everybody at the end. But yeah, so that's the movie. It does feel that like some stuff is unnecessary in it, like the Ben Stiller thing. Jack Black's character, although like it's good to see like for character development that Matthew Broderick has other friends, I don't feel like he was fully necessarily in the story besides like 2 or 3 important points, but that could have just been given to maybe the girlfriend or something. It actually would have probably made more sense if it was the girlfriend. But yeah, so I'm going to give this movie a 7 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. Follow me on all my social media down below. It's That Nerd Ryan, signing off.